Now let's dive into the details of this course because it is, I have to say, rather confusing. It is in Flanders, yes, but it's not necessarily the Flanders that you may be thinking of. We're not going to be around Oudenaarde, seeing the Paterberg and the Oude Quermont and all the climbs from the Tour of Flanders. Instead, we are a little ways away, centered around Leuven, and this race is really broken up into three distinct parts. You start off in Antwerp, and then you get to Leuven, and there's a circuit in Leuven, and then there is an additional circuit, bear with me, called the Flandrien circuit, where they wanted to add a little bit more spice, add the cobbled climbs that people were expecting from a Flanders World Championships, even though it's not the Tour of Flanders climbs. If you are you following me, Jessica? I feel like I'm confused reading this, so I don't know if I'm saying it very well.
I think you're pretty spot on. And then on the women's side, you've got a very similar situation, just as much confusion, not quite as much climbing, not quite as long of a course, but several repeating circuits as well. So it's gonna make for some interesting watching. Maybe at home we're not going to really see the difficulty of the different loops and keeping track of them, but I think for the racers, this is going to keep them definitely on their toes.
It's going to keep them on their toes. So I'll dive into a little bit more detail if you're still with me. So the first 60-ish K of the men's road race just gets you from Antwerp to this Leuven circuit. They do 1.5 laps of this Leuven circuit, and there is a partially cobbled climb, but I think that my understanding is the Leuven circuit is there are definitely climbs, but it's a little bit more tame. And then you go to the Flandrien circuit, and this is centered for you cyclocross buffs. It's centered around Overijse, and you are going to get some good cobbled climbs out on the Flandrien circuit, including the Monkestraat, which is the major feature of de Brabantse. One of the reasons I'm calling Mathieu van der Poel for a favorite for this race. He obviously has done extremely well at de Brabantse in the past. So to wrap it all up, 60K, Antwerp to Leuven. You do 1.5 laps of the Leuven circuit. You then go do a lap of the Flanders circuit. You go back to Leuven. You do 4 laps of the Leuven circuit. You go back to the Flanders circuit, Jessica. Do another lap of the Flanders circuit. And then we go back to Leuven for 2.5 laps, and we finish in Leuven. That is what the men's 267.7 kilometer long World Championship road race looks like. It's a little bit of a mess. Don't worry. If you're just sitting on the couch watching it, you don't have to deal with the logistics. I'm going to be there looking at all the squiggles on a map, trying to figure out how to bisect the race in numerous places. But it's going to be a cool show. You're going to get cobbled climbs, and you are going to get a very exciting finishing circuit in Leuven with a, I believe, kind of falls flat, slightly uphill finish to the line. So we'll see.